Hello everybody. Welcome. I am showing our cold, rainy weather here in Iowa. Welcome. If you're popping in, go ahead and say your name and if you're new or where you're from. So I am showing our cold, rainy weather. Let me get my camera around. Hello. Hi. Welcome. I am doing something a little bit different today. So let me make sure you guys can see me. I'm a little bit white, but that's okay. I guess it's a little bit of sun that's shining here. So usually I have been sharing on Periscope like what I'm cooking for dinner. And today I am doing something a little bit different. Sorry, it's hard for me to look at gotta look over here so you guys think I'm looking at ya. All right, and I did hashtag Halloween. So if you give me some hearts, we will be getting some bats in there, which is really fun that Periscope is doing. Hello, welcome. Go ahead and tell me your name and where you're from if you're new. And I was just saying I remembered to finally hashtag Halloween. So if you give me some hearts so we can see those fun bats. So today, for those of you that don't know me, I am Tandy, and the ones that are joining me live, ooh, England, yay, Andy, welcome, that's exciting. I bet the weather's kind of cold over there, isn't it? Well, it's getting cold, it's like 50s right now. 50s gets down to 30s in the evening. Anyway, enough about weather. For those of you that are new and don't know me, I am Tandy, and I blog at tandysqm. And I blog about meals I cook for my family and how to spend less time in the kitchen and more time with what really matters in life, which whatever that is for you. So for me, that's family. I love to cook, but I don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen. So I'm sharing my journey here with you. And I am blogging about, or today I'm talking about 5 things that I keep in my freezer to get dinner done in half the time. So, for those of you joining me on the replay, thank you. Thank you. And please reach out to me either across social media or email. My email is tandy@tandysqm.com. You can reach me there. Or on Facebook, you can find me at Tandy's Quick Meals. And pretty much across all other social media, I am Tandy's Meals. So, okay, so 5 tips. My first tip and food that I always keep in the freezer is ground meat. And I keep all of them in or meat in general. I keep ground beef, ground sausage, taco meat, and bacon. And it's all pre-cooked. Whenever I have to cook ground beef, I always make sure I cook a lot more. And I let it cool. I put it in a gallon-sized baggie, and I flatten it, and I stack them in my freezer. And whenever I need to use any, if I need a quick spaghetti or something for dinner, I either knock off a chunk in the freezer, hit it on the counter or whatever, break it loose, throw it in my pan. It's already cooked. It just has to defrost. So that's my number 1 tip, and I do that one a lot. Same with bacon. I bake my bacon in the oven. So whenever I need more bacon, I bake a couple sheet trays, lots of bacon, and then I wrap it in paper towels, put it in a baggie, and put it in my freezer. Number 2, my second tip is breads. When you are making breakfast type foods, typically, when I go to make pancakes, I make a huge batch of pancakes. Same with French toast. And same with muffins. Make a double batch and let that cool, put it in a baggie, and keep it in the freezer. My kids love pancakes, and I refuse to buy the pre-bought ones when pancakes are so easy. I do use Bisquick, so it's really easy. You can home make them also, but I just grew up with Bisquick, so that's just what I do. So that is my second tip. And my third tip is to cook once, eat twice. And I do this a lot. Like whenever you're making a mess, you might as well make mess once and make double the food. So if you're making a lasagna, make 2 lasagnas. If you're making muffins, make a double batch of muffins. So whatever you're doing, make the mess once and eat twice, and put one in the freezer, or you can gift one meal away, whatever you want to do. But cook once, eat twice. Number 3. Number 4 is when you have leftovers, So I usually make, I have 3 kids, and a husband, and I usually always make a pretty decent size, always a 9x13 pan at least. So usually we use some leftovers for work, but if there's still leftovers after that, then I put in little Ziploc containers. Typically not the baggies, but the containers with the lids, individual size. Put a scoop of lasagna in there and put that in the freezer. I label it with a piece of tape, and I put the date and what it is, and I stack them in my freezer. So then when my husband needs to go to lunch the next day and I don't have anything in the fridge, I pull that from the freezer. He can pop it in the microwave, or if I needed a quick dinner, I could grab a few of those out too. So, hello, welcome. Go ahead and tell me your name and where you're from. My name is Tandy if you're new. And I am just going over my 5 foods that I keep in my freezer that help me get dinner on fast. So I'll do a little recap. The first one is meat. I keep, Indy, welcome. Nice to meet you. So the first one is meat, ground meat. I keep bacon, sausage, taco meat, beef, already pre-cooked in a baggie, freeze it. When you need some, you knock it loose and you cook it. Number 2 was breads, such as pancakes, muffins, French toast. I always make double, throw it in a baggie, throw it in the freezer. Thank you for the heart. And the third one is cook once, eat twice. So whenever you're cooking, cook a double batch, cook 2 casseroles, whatever you're cooking, make more, and freeze the one, and eat the one, freeze the one, and you're making a mess once and you're getting 2 meals. Okay, so, and then my 4th tip was the leftovers. When you have leftovers, instead of throwing them away, put them in a individual container, and thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And, sorry, I get off track so easy on Periscope. There's so much going on. Put them in a individual container and freeze it. Label it, freeze it, pull it out of the freezer if you need a quick lunch or a quick dinner, pop it in the microwave. It's just like a TV dinner. So instead of paying that special price for the TV dinner, you're using your leftovers. And my 5th tip is meal morphs. And I love this also. So usually when I make chili, for instance, I make a huge batch of chili, and sometimes we're sick of it by the second night or the second day. Yes, you could put some in containers and freeze it, or you can also do a meal morph, is what I call it. And what I do is I turn my chili into a goulash, and all I do is I add tomato paste, and sorry if you can hear that, it's a 4-wheeler doing cow chores out there. And yes, I add tomato paste, and I make spaghetti, or I make macaroni noodles, and I make and with my chili, and I make a goulash. Goulash. Usually when I cook noodles, I always cook a ton of spaghetti noodles. I either throw the leftovers in the freezer and later, or you could morph it into a spaghetti pie, or use Alfredo sauce, or use any kind of sauce with that. And another one is chicken. When I cook a whole bunch of chicken, whether I'm grilling it or baking some in the oven, cook a whole bunch of chicken. That you can chop up and put in a baggie and freeze also. That goes to my tip number 1, freezing the meat. So you have pre-cooked chicken for anything, salads, casseroles, anything. So same with, or if you have a whole bunch of, you made fried chicken, take it off the bone, freeze it, or morph it into a chicken and rice, or chicken and gravy over mashed potatoes, or chicken noodle soup. I mean, the options are really endless. So, yay, there's some of those bats. Thank you. I always forget to do the hashtag Halloween, so I remembered this time, so I'm excited. So, okay, so those are my 5 tips. The first one was the meat. Pre-cook your meat, freeze it. Tip number 2, breakfast items or bread items. Pancakes, French toast, muffins. Make a double batch, put them in the freezer. Tip number 3, cook once, eat twice. So whenever you're cooking and making a mess in your kitchen, always make 2 or 3, 4 batches or whatever. Stick some in the freezer, gift one, eat one for dinner, cook once, eat twice. Tip number 4 is leftovers. Put your leftovers, instead of throwing them out, in individual containers, label and place in the freezer, and use as like you would a TV dinner or for lunch the next day. Pop it in the microwave, boom, it's done. Tip number 5 is the meal morphs. So once again, if you have leftovers and you're sick of that, throw it in the freezer, but if you don't want to do that, meal morph it into something else by adding other ingredients, such as I used chili, thicken it up with tomato paste, add some macaroni noodles, and make a goulash. It's perfect. So also, for those of you, the tips that I went over, I'm working on my blog post right now, but you can go to tandysqm.com/scope, and everything I'm scoping about, I will be placing on that page, hopefully. So if it's not there yet, it should be there soon. Also, you can catch this replay at catch.me, katch.me/Tandy's Meals. So, any questions or anything? Any ideas for future scopes? I would love your opinions and your comments and your feedback. Please reach out to me in all forms of social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or go ahead and send me an email at tandy@tandysqmmeals.com. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Thanks.